Hello and welcome to Outside In. My name is Steven. This video here is about the Sixthgu power banks and the Miady power banks. I'm going to be testing capacity on the charge cycle and see if there is any comparison between discharging and charging. All right, there's not a whole lot that needs to be said because everything that needs to be said you're going to see firsthand. I know some people may want to know this information, but we're going to go ahead and charge these up. These are pulling close to 1 amp each. These, for some reason, the Miadis, now I'm hoping it's because these are low in power and they're starting off soft to be easier on the power bank, and once this gets a little bit of charge in it, then it will pick up how much power it's pulling to charge. I have to say right up front, this is definitely going to be 100% unfair to discharge a battery at 1 amp and then to charge it at 500 milliamps or less. The real capacity test on batteries is on the discharge, not the charge. This one is pulling almost an amp. This one here is not even 500 milliamps, and it went down from almost an amp. This one is at 200 milliamp, and this one is not even at 100 milliamp. Just keep watching and see if this has safety in it. Then these should pick up, allowing more amperage to go into the batteries while they're charging. But we'll see. They're right now blinking on 1, all of them. But anyway, we'll just let this go, let these charge up. We'll see what the rating is at the end and see if their capacity still comes out about the same. But remember, like I say, you want to go by the discharge for capacity testing any battery, not the charge rate. Always use the discharge. Okay, I will just let this run until they charge up, and then we'll see at the end how it looks.
You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be, we be right when I wait to save me, a superhero in this. A superhero in this. You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. In every goal there was a meaning, for this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be, we be right when I wait to save me, a superhero in your sleep.
Okay, all right, here we go. Boy, did that take some time to complete this test. This took more than 7 hours to complete this charge. You noticed when you was watching this that this whole setup changed. During the course of this, I kept trying to find ways to get these to take more amps. And I finally found a way to do that. I have a DIY power bank that I built that has unlimited ability. So whatever a power bank wants, it can have as much as it wants. So I plugged into that, and that actually started working for these to get more. But here's the problem that I saw. After a while, they went right back down to 300 or less milliamp draw. So I'm thinking it's got to do with the internals of these power banks. As you saw in the other video on the discharge, each one of these allowed 1 amp to be pulled from them continuously from full to empty, and then they cut off. But when it went time for me to charge them, that's why it took so long to charge these. Well, however they have the circuitry inside these, they're just not accepting any amperage. It's going to take probably 6 or more hours to charge one of these, and then if you plug this into your iPhone or your Android device that wants 2 amps, You'll be lucky to get one full charge out of these power banks to your cell phone. One full charge, and that's it. Then it'll be over. It'll be done. It'll be empty. Here's the problem with that. Once you go to recharge these, it could take 6 hours. It took me over 7 hours to get these fully charged, which to me is absolutely insane, because the discharge is the best way to test capacity, not the charge. I'm going to just prove it right now, because let's see what these were at the charge. At the end of the charge, this one was 4,118 milliamp hour, and I think on the discharge this was just over 3,000, I think, milliamp hour. This one here ended up showing 4,277, which was lower than this one, but that's because this most of the time was only pulling 300 milliamps to charge itself. So that's why the capacity is so much higher. This one here ended at 4,302 milliamp hour. But again, it was because it was pulling around 300 milliamps or less most of the time that it was charging. So that's why the capacity rating got higher. This one here ended at 4,418 milliamp hour, only because it charged so little. At times this one was taking less than 100 milliamps to charge, so that greatly increased the capacity number. Most people charging their cell phones are going to take that 2 amps or 1 amp at least for their continuous charge cycle, and with these pulling 1 amp, none of these got even close to what they're rated at. So anyway, just keep that in mind when you buy these. These two are $20. These are $17, I think. This one here is defective anyway because the light don't work. This one also got the lowest discharge capacity, way lower than even this one. So this one, whatever is causing the light to not work in here is probably also causing the battery not to work very well. I've read a lot of the reviews on these, and a lot of reviews, people seem to like these, but I think it's because they're just plugging it in an emergency and it's doing what it needs to do to charge your phone up, and they're happy with it. This will get you out of a pinch. That definitely could make it worth the 20 bucks. That could definitely make it worth the 17, I think it is, for these two. They're small, they're compact. This is my hand. I'm going to show you. This here is an 18650 battery. So that's a size comparison of what this is. I just would stay away from polymer. Please don't mess with polymer, because those in your pocket with the heat that your body provides is going to make those even more dangerous. These are 21700 batteries in each one of these. Those little flat battery packs that you get, most every single one of those have lithium polymer pouches in them. They're very dangerous. I would not recommend them to anybody. I will not own them. Either buy these or see if you can find another small portable battery pack. If you buy these to put in your vehicle, I would go and check on them every few days just to make sure that they haven't lost too much charge for that emergency you will find yourself in. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks for stopping by for the capacity test of the charge cycle on these power banks. And as you saw, those power banks really kind of suck as far as taking in power to charge. The green one was less than 100 milliamp a lot of the time. And then it would go to 300 milliamp and 200 milliamp, and then once in a while it would jump to 4 or 5 and then right back down to 3. The pink one, it pretty much stayed around 3 or so, 100 milliamp. The black Sixthgu started out like the white one did at around 900 milliamp, and after a few minutes dropped right down to 300, and that's pretty much where it stayed itself. 300 to 500 and back and forth, I think, 2 something maybe. If there's somebody that has one of these power banks, the Sixthgu or the Miady, and you are charging yours and it's showing 1 or 2 amps on the draw of your power supply. Now, the only way to know that, you need a USB meter of some sort that will show you what the amp draw is. Just because you plug it in and you go to bed and then you get up in the morning, for all you know, just 7 hours later, just before you opened your eyes, it stopped charging because it was complete. That's all you know. Unless you have one of these or a meter like it that shows how many amps are being drawn for your power supply, you have no idea how many amps that is actually taking to charge. Now, if it's pulling 1 amp, beautiful. If someone has these and you have used it with a meter and it shows consistently 1 amp being drawn for the wall wart to charge them up, then please let us know. These are pretty. I like the colors. 20 bucks. And 20 bucks may not be such a bad thing because they will work work in an emergency. But just know that you're not going to get the 5,000 that they claim. And on the black, Sixthgu only got half of what they claim. But none of these came even close to what the actual claim is. Just like with a Tesla car. The slower you charge it, the more miles you can go with it. You go to one of those superchargers and charge it up from dead to full in 30 minutes, your mileage is going to greatly be reduced because you're losing a lot of capacity doing that. So it's always best to charge the battery slowly to get the best performance out of a battery, no matter if it's in a car or a flashlight or a power bank. If you have 3 of these that you use in different places, go check them every couple of days and make sure that they still have charge. So if you end up in a situation where you need them, they will work. Just remember, you're going to be able to charge your iPhone on your Android device. It will probably deliver up to 2 amps if the device wants it. But just know that when you go back to charge it, you may have to plug these in when you go to bed at night so they're finally charged by the time you get up in the morning. Also, check these every day, every couple of days, and see where the charge is. If you're just looking for something not to use every day, but to have for emergency, yes, I think these are great for that. They will easily go into your pocket while you're on a camping trip, or in your purse while you're going to the store, in your duffel bag while you're hiking. And there's a lot of different ways you can keep these, and they're not big and bulky. If you have a question about one that you're looking at that is a smaller one and they have a milliamp hour rating you're not sure of and would like me to test it out, if I can afford to buy it, I will and test it for you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad to be able to do this video. I look forward to doing more of them. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Find someone that needs a reason to go on and give them that reason. Find someone that needs to laugh and make them laugh. God bless each and every one of us, and I will see you in the next one.